Welcome to part 3. Now, unfortunately, there's something we really lack in Kenya that would be very useful to all of us. And it's something called political debate. Thanks mostly to somebody called Dennis Itumbi and his 36 bloggers, there is no debate online. It's just abuses, yes, remove, comments that are just insulting, yes, comments to provoke others, okay. People spend the whole day on a channel which they do not agree with. What for? Well, it should be very clear. These are employed people. They're employed to plant thoughts in the minds of Kenyans, to confuse Kenyans, to spew propaganda, yeah, and generally brainwash an entire population. Is that even possible? They may have been a little successful and made people half blind, yeah, so that they cannot see a lot of things, but it's just a matter of time. Because if Adolf Hitler did not succeed, who are the 36 bloggers to succeed? Anyway, now one of the unfortunate, the reason why I'm starting this recording like this, one of the very unfortunate things is that some people refuse to see the very obvious. Now, bullets were fired at the car of Raila Odinga. Fact. Yeah, you do not fire bullets at somebody's car to proclaim your support for that person. Fact. You do not fire bullets at somebody's vehicle, yeah, because you want them to live. Fact. So I would really appreciate it if some people stopped urinating in this blog, leaving comments that do not make sense, okay? And I think I'm going to get very tough soon. I will start deleting and blocking. I know these are 36 bloggers. They have, each of them has 10 to 20 handles, yeah? So they keep on changing. You block one, another one appears. You block one, the other one appears. But even if it's necessary, I'll employ somebody to block the whole lot of them, yeah? Because we need political debate at this very sensitive time in the country's history. We need level-minded debate, yes? We need level-minded thoughts of the way ahead. Yeah, this is crucial for the nation. Yeah, this is not a time to spew propaganda because you want your paymaster to hang on to power. It's not. Anyway, once again, I'm a bit puzzled about Jubilee's endgame in this. Okay, because there's something very important that we need to all realize. Yes, if anything ever happened, God forbid, if anything ever happened to Raila Odinga, yeah, it would be very difficult, and assuming it was by natural causes, yes, it would be very difficult to confuse Kenyans, to convince Kenyans that it was natural causes. Why? Because of the government's very careless handling of Raila Odinga, because of the government's very careless handling of the opposition. The government is behaving as if we are back in the 1980s, 1990s. Clamp down. Yeah, use muscle, show people that actually you control government machinery. Very many people are saying, and I dare say across the political divide, very many people are saying that if the government had allowed Raila Odinga supporters to welcome him, yes, and to escort him into town, yes, peacefully, nothing would have happened. No shops would have been looted, nobody would have gotten killed. And I tend to agree with this 1000%. But alas, they have their own agenda. They must know what they're doing, okay? Because if I was in government, for instance, I would give Raila Odinga full protection, yes? I would make sure nothing happens to him. Not a hair in his head is touched, yeah? Why? Not because necessarily I like Raila Odinga, but because it's common sense, yes? The kind of following this man has, yes? It would be dangerous to try and harm him in any way. Very dangerous for the nation. Or let me just correct that. Let me put it in another way. The kind of following Raila Odinga has, it would be very dangerous if anything happened to him. It doesn't matter how, whether by natural causes or otherwise. It would be very dangerous for the country. Yeah, that is a threat to the security of the state. Anything happening to Raila. And I'm just surprised that that is not obvious to many people in Jubilee. I'm extremely surprised. I think the only explanation for that is that certain individuals are just blinded by hate. Because I know they have brains, I know they can think, I know they see things. Yes, I don't think it has anything to do with their intelligence. I think it is a lot to do with the blind hatred they have. And I've said in this channel many times, if you want to defeat an opponent in anything, even politics, if you have blind hatred, you will fail. You will never defeat that person, because emotions cloud judgment, and you need judgment to succeed. Yeah? It's that simple. Hatred of a person will get you absolutely nowhere. Now, there's a very big misconception amongst Jubilee supporters that if they've somehow managed to get Raila out of the political field, yes, and then we know they have been pushing for things like retirement. We know that he has been offered very rosy packages. Yeah, we know that people have approached Raila and told him, just name your price, name whatever post you want to be appointed to, just tell us what you want, we'll make sure you get it. Yeah, and he's even been offered large sums of money, I know, to get out of the way. Yeah. Now, these people are the people who have this kind of thinking that Raila out of Kenyan politics will make things easier for them, are in dreamland. Yes, Raila is a major force. Yes, Raila is the leader of the opposition. However, if, for instance, Raila was to decide today to retire from politics, yes, those guys wishing him out of the way will go quickly, will visit him in Bondo very quickly and ask him to come back into politics. That's what I can assure you. As in any political party, there are always the, radicals. Yes, and NASA has its fair share of radicals. And the only person who can control them, the only person who can keep them in check, guess who? Is Raila. If Raila is not there, then that radical wing could take charge. Yes, and don't think you can crush them. You know, there's some things you cannot crush no matter how many guns you have, because guns tend to run out of bullets. No matter how much armory you have, yeah, it will be very difficult to crush. Yes, the Kifua tactics of Jubilee will not work. Okay. Now, what I'm going to say next, you can dispute, but to me, being a political analyst for many years, yes, I'm sure and I know what I'm talking about. Raila Odinga is one of the most humble politicians I know. Did you know that when he arrived in from the US, there were people waiting to greet him and speak to him at the airport? Yes. But that Raila Odinga opted instead to leave the airport straight away. Why? In order to avoid inconveniencing other people, blocking the airport and, making a scene at the airport and, generally disrupting the activities at the airport. Yeah. So he very humbly, in fact, he used a back door. He very humbly used a back door and got into his vehicle and left the airport very quickly. There were a lot of people waiting to greet him and waiting to speak to him who are very disappointed. And that is a fact. Many people who enjoy the stature that Raila enjoys today would not have done that. They would have not have missed the opportunity of basking, yeah, in the glory of their fans and the glory of their supporters, right there in the airport, and disrupting everything and causing a scene and showing people how important they are. Many would not have resisted that temptation. Okay, so you get what I'm trying to say. Now, in conclusion, nobody knows the future. However, in my view, Raila Amolo Odinga has already booked his place in history as one of the truly great Kenyans. He has already booked his place in history as one of the people who have been responsible for directing this country in the direction of democracy and good governance. And no amount of insults and jokes against him is going to change that. The other thing I would like to say is that Jubilee are probably playing the wrong tactics here. Okay, they're so involved, they're so dazzled, they're so obsessed with Raila that they will lose this game because they have not noticed other people. Now, in games, even like in soccer, there's a tactic where you have a star, yeah, somebody who attracts attention, and you use him very well to pull all the defenders, to pull all the attention in their direction, while somebody else sneaks in from behind and scores. Yes, and this is exactly what we're headed for. While all the obsession is with Jubilee, while all the Jubilee obsession is with Raila Odinga, while they're all very busy with him hurling abuses, insults, saying, oh, Raila should retire to Bondo, etc., etc., The rest of the country is joining together in a force that will be very difficult to stop. With or without Raila, yeah, the entire country is clamoring for a better Kenya. The entire country is clamoring for an end to electoral fraud. The whole country is clamoring for free and fair elections. But I dare say, for the sake of long-suffering Kenyans, I believe it is a good thing that Jubilee have been dazzled and are paying too much attention to Raila Odinga, because it is working in favor of the majority of Kenyans. It is working in favor of NASA and NASA tacticians and the people working on the strategy. It's working very well. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.